Hey everybody, it's time for my next Big Brother blog. Okay, you may be wondering why I'm not fully dressed. This actually was supposed to be part of the video, it's supposed to be funny. This is actually my second take on this video, and I'm not going to do this video again. I was originally going to come out and I was going to say, oh, hello everybody, just got out of the shower. I was so excited about Big Brother that I was going to do my Big Brother blog in the nude. Don't believe me? And then I was supposed to pan down the entire front side of my body, and then I was going to go back in Vegas Movie Studio and superimpose a funny graphic. It was like a big, huge milkshake right over my frontal parts. It went horribly awry. Like, it looked fine in the editor when I was doing it, but then when I went back and I played it, it relocated the milkshake. It never, like, moved from the screen, and it never disappeared from the screen, so it didn't, like, pop into view like I expected it to. It didn't pop into view in the spot where I was supposed to have it at. It actually ended up on the side of my face. So, like, the whole last part of the video, I had a milkshake stuck to the side of my face here. It would move over here sometimes, and then come back, and it would be right here on my face. But, needless to say, it was an epic fail for the nude shot, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm not really sold on this towel, either. Make me look fat. Yeah. Alright, so the topic of this video is actually Big Brother. We are going to be discussing the new online submission process that you can actually use. I'm not quite sure, I haven't gone to the CBS website, but I'm pretty sure you can still apply the old way through the mail. That is a cumbersome process, and I will show you in just a moment how cumbersome it is. But it's the process that they've used for a decade now, and they're just now getting around to doing online submissions. But it is what it is. They also do casting calls. They have not announced the casting call dates yet. That will probably be at the end of March. It's when they're going to start going through applications and stuff. A lot of people have said that it's going to be an all-star season. I've heard that rumor. I mean, I was even spreading that rumor last year, that Season 7 was All-Stars, so that means, naturally, Season 14 is All-Stars. But then they had the veterans versus the fans twist last year. So half the cast was, you know, returnees from previous seasons, and then they were competing against fans. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a pure All-Star season or not. I mean, Season 7, they also accepted, you know, applications and stuff, just like they were casting for a regular season. But then it turned out at the last minute that it was an all-star season, so all those applications were pretty much for naught. Okay. So this used to be the old process of doing Big Brother applications. You'll see this is actually a quite lengthy series of papers that you actually had to fill out, and you had to mail this in. You had to send in 2 photos. One was a full body shot, and I will show you. This was my full body shot last year. And then you had to have a headshot. And I actually ended up using this headshot again this year. But for strategic reasons, not so much that I liked the actual photo. So basically, the old application would ask you a lot of probably unnecessary questions. Like if you had any litigation against you. Of course, they can find that out with your social security number when you're applying anyway. Describe your ideal romantic partner. That really doesn't really mean much anymore. Describe your relationship with your mother. Describe your relationship with your father. What are your favorite foods? All this stuff can pretty much be discussed if you go to a semifinalist interview. Do you smoke? If you do, how often? Do you drink alcohol? What happens when you get drunk? What are your thoughts on religion? Are politics important to you? What interesting occupations have you had in the past? Are you a vegetarian? Have you ever lived with roommates? What is your favorite movie? What kind of music do you like best? What magazines do you read? What is your favorite color? Do you belong to any organizations? Do you have any body art? Any tattoos? Any piercings? What are your favorite sports to play? What are your favorite activities? Have you suffered from mental illness? Have you ever sought mental health counseling? What are you afraid of? How do you deal with someone who intimidates you? How do you deal with anger? Do you have a temper? Have you ever been diagnosed with alcoholism? If you could hold any political office, what would it be? What is the accomplishment you're most proud of? List 3 items you would take into the Big Brother house if allowed, or why. Who is your hero? Describe your perfect day. Have you ever been to a nude beach? Finish this sentence. My life's motto is... What would you do if Big Brother made you famous? What types of people would you choose to have with you in the house, and which people would you choose not to have with you in the house? What would irritate you about living in a house full of with a dozen other people? Do you have a strategy for winning Big Brother? Which past Big Brother house guest do you like the most? Which one do you like the least? What do you think would be the most difficult part of living in the Big Brother house? Have you ever applied for or worked on any other reality TV shows, dating shows, or game shows? If so, please provide dates and details. Then you have to put all of your dress sizes, your full body sizes, from your swimsuit size, dress shirt size, t-shirt size, chest size, waist size, pant size, inseam size, bra size, underwear size, shoe size, hat size. If you're left-handed, if you're right-handed, what your eye color is. All this stuff is really not necessary, and I think that's the reason why they cut a lot of this out for the online site. So here is what the application website looks like. I am going to be very careful not to include any logos because YouTube will freak out if I do this. But you'll see that it's a much shortened. It basically only gets the things that are fairly important, like what schools you've attended. Then you have to do a self-biography here. This is the interesting part. And you're only given up to 70 words. So you have to make sure that you make those words count. Then you have to put an applicant's photo here, right down here at the bottom. Now it doesn't really say what type of photo they're looking for. In the past, they wanted one full body shot and one headshot, like I said. They didn't ask for that this time, so you have to pretty much make a decision about whether you want a full body shot or a headshot. I chose a headshot. Like I said, I did it for strategic reasons, not for what they particularly asked for. Then you have to agree that you have agreed to the terms of service on top of the bar. Then you have to upload your video. The videos in the past you could do up to 2 minutes. Now it's up to 3 minutes. But you'll notice at the very bottom, the video cannot be more than 30 megabytes. Okay, that's a pretty small video file size. Any smartphone that you record on is going to typically make a video a lot larger than that. So they're basically limiting the size of the video so that you can't over-embellish the video with graphics and music and everything else, which just adds to the file size. So they really want to get to the core information. They don't really want you to embellish. Okay, so I've already done my video. And I've already sent in my application and everything. I'm not going to show the video here because I'm not even sure if we're supposed to be showing that video. But here are some 5 tips that I used when I made my video. Now you don't have to follow these are just my tips. I mean, most of my tips are going to be completely counter to what other people have told you need to do for your videos, including some past house guests that have been on the show. They always say, just tell Big Brother what you would do to win Big Brother. And I've seen a lot of those audition videos, and they're all pretty much the same. And a lot of those people, even though they claim they're going to do something one way, once they get in the house, they find the game changes, and they just basically lied to get into the house. So think outside the box. Show more of your personality and less of the tired old lines that they expect you to do for the video, like, oh, I'm going to win Big Brother by flying under the radar. Everybody says that. Don't say that. I'm going to win Big Brother by being a bitch. I'm going to tell people exactly what I think of them. Other people are using that same line. It's not original. Be original. I tended to show more of my personality. It was a big risk, not really talking about how I was going to win Big Brother. But, I mean, we'll see in late May if it works, if I get a call back. But, yeah, I felt that was tired, and I didn't want to use those old lines. Number 2, I would, rather than tell us what you would do once you're in the house, why don't you tell us what you've done to prepare for going into the house? Like for me, I actually went to BillPearl.com and ordered the protein powder that they use to make Big Brother slop. I got the list of condiments that Big Brother allows, and I actually experimented with Big Brother recipes. And I mentioned that in the video. Not very many people would subject themselves to slop before they actually go into the Big Brother house. But I did it, and I told them that that's how I prepared for the show. Number 3, be random and be funny. Don't be so serious just staring at the camera and saying, oh, I'll work, in a car shop. Be funny and if you have to be corny, if you have to look like a complete nutcase, do it. Because it shows that you're comfortable in front of the camera. And because you only have 3 minutes to do your video, my 4th piece of advice would be to use clues from your environment that you might not have to address in your actual video, but that might give psychological clues as to why you want to go on the show, what your personality is like, and everything. Now, in my video, I actually sat in front of the green screen here. I didn't use a graphic for mine, because like I said, it makes the video much larger in file size, and it wouldn't upload then. But I actually mentioned why I'm sitting in front of a green screen. Not only does a bright green screen get their attention when they're sitting there watching your video, it's not a boring background, it also told them, hey, I have a YouTube channel, so if you want more information about me, you can go to my YouTube channel and see what I've actually done. In another part of my video, I actually stood in front of a plaque that I had made, a photo that I actually painstakingly pasted together, and it had a lot of dollar bills. It's not really dollar bills, I think it's like a $1 million bill. It's fake currency, basically. But it gives them the hint that, hey, I'd be in it to win the money. And number 5, briefly tell them what niche that you would fit into. Now, as you know, with every reality TV show, there are certain casting roles that people get cast for. If you're gay, tell them you're gay. If you're from the South, tell them that you're a Southern girl or boy. If you're, a bartender and you like to party, that shows your social, so tell them that you're from that background. If you're an athlete, definitely tell them what sport you play. Make sure that you let them know what niche you're willing to play. If you're willing to play a villain role, if you're willing to play the bitch role, if you're willing to play the motherly role, whatever niche that you think you would be best cast at, go ahead and mention it in the video. And that's it for this Big Brother blog. So go out there, make your videos, send them in. Most of the casting calls will start popping up in late March or early April. So go on CBS.com periodically to figure out which casting call you can actually go to. If you're not comfortable doing the online video or mailing in your video, you can do it that way. Or go to CBS.com, download the application, look it over, send it in. Like I said, I'm not sure if they've taken that down yet or not. It's possible that they have. And then go to BigBrotherCasting.tv to do the online application if you'd like. Now, the callbacks will be in May, and the semifinalist interviews, I think, are at the end of May. Then I think in June is when the finalist interviews are. But you're not supposed to tell anybody if you're going to a semifinalist or finalist interview. Make sure you keep that in mind. And my final piece of advice, when you're doing your photo, use some strategy in how you're actually going to go about choosing your photo. Since they don't ask for a full body shot or a headshot this year, you can have some leeway about what you actually want to send in. I chose the photo where I'm actually in Las Vegas at the Rio. The reason why I chose this is the casting director, Robin Cass, is from Las Vegas. She loves everything Las Vegas. So if you can see any of the Las Vegas Strip in the background there in my photo, and I am wearing a jester hat from the Rio, wearing Mardi Gras beads from the Rio, it tells Robin, hey, I've been to Las Vegas, and we have something common to talk about. I love Las Vegas too, so that was a bit of strategy that I used in that part of the application process.